Now in the second round, I'd like to actually ask Professor Dr. Ibrahim Abouleish for his contribution. And the question actually for you would be, the Heliopolis University, its vision is actually that Heliopolis University is a pioneer scientific establishment that strives for sustainable development of individual consciousness, economic solidarity, social justice, and an environmental balance in Egypt and the world. So can you please shortly introduce how this link between local and global impact for sustainable development shall be achieved? So on the one side in Egypt, but also on a global scale. And how the global UN programs, as like the SDGs and the Global Action Program, are relevant for your institution.
Yeah, thank you, dear Dr. Clemens Mader and Dr. Alexander Leicht. Thank you very much for your introduction. Of course, I'm living with all the UNESCO ideas since even 70s, and perhaps it was also one of the inspiration why we started the education for sustainable development at the schools here. And now, since some years, we have opened the University for Sustainable Development, Heliopolis University. But how we are doing that, we decided to open 3 faculties. The first is engineering. And we decided to teach the undergraduates 4 main courses. The one is water. Our globe, especially Egypt, are suffering very much from the water scarcity. And that is something that does not exist in the country on the undergraduate level. And then, you hear me? Clemens, yeah? And also energy, so renewable energy. That is very, very needed overall in the world. And the green agriculture, a green architecture. And of course, one of the most important intermediate course is the mechatronic. Those are needed in the engineering, and all the people working in the renewable energy needed as an intermediate activity. Now that is the engineering. The business and economics, that is our main interest. The main interest, because you know, young people have to learn from the first beginning how to do ecological and ethical businesses. And that we emphasize that very much on the curricula we developed for both engineering and also for business and economics. The students are doing that in groups and in many projects. And the third one is pharmacy. And in pharmacy, we emphasize very much on pharmacognosy, where students have to learn how to produce medicine out of the nature, out of plants and nature in general. That is how we create a group of young people who will lead in the country and have learned what does it mean sustainable development. On the other hand, our education in Egypt, as many countries, is very poor. So the students, when they enter the school here, they are not much capable and skilled. So we have created a course for them. We call it the core program, where we train the young people in first in sustainable development, and what does it mean? What is this sustainable development? And so the 4 dimensions of sustainable development, every student has to understand it. Not by lecturing it, but by doing it. So they are working on fields to understand the meaning of sustainable development. Of course, they have to learn languages, so they different languages, but mainly English and German, and to build their enthusiasm for that, they learn arts, different type of art, also culture. So all the four type of art, they enter the university by learning art, to open hearts for the problems, to open hearts also for all what they perceive from the nature, that they can be engaged, not only knowing, but also enthusiastic for solving problems. Of course, they learn also social sciences and innovation. And one of the most important courses is the leadership. They have a leadership program where they have many training and professors who accompany them in leadership. And then what is very important is to learn more about nature and society. How nature is composed, how society needs their support. That is in the second part. In the third part of the university, we emphasize very much on research. We have one of the oldest in the country research centers where we research on renewable energy. We do research on how to desalinate water, how to use water efficiently, properly, because of the scarcity of water. So irrigation, how to do it, how to create a community in the desert, and that is on the one hand. In the other hand is in the pharmacy, how to solve health problems in the society, and how to educate people through research. So, you know, through doing research we can't do alone. We are very much connected with the RCE, you know, the Regional Center of Expertise, and with the universities around the world. So this integration and this cooperation with many institutions around the world helped us to create solutions for the problem. Merely as example, we created a very efficient solution for this, where people much died here in Egypt and everywhere else, from the bacterial resistance. When people have bacterial resistance, they cannot react with antibiotics. So how to help them? So we created a new, medicament, a new drug. And on the other hand, we have drugs for the problems in the country here, like diabetes and hypertension and all of that. The research center is doing that. On the other hand, agriculture. On the other hand, how to help people working in the sustainable agriculture to raise the fertility of the soil, to make the symbiosis between the different, to create the diversity in the ground. And we are, of course, since we existed in Egypt since now 37 years, we are using the biodynamic method of agriculture. And it proves that we are sequestering more CO2 in the earth, in the soil, than any other conventional one. So that is how we can help mitigate the CO2, that is the climate change. That is the best way to contribute to the climate change effort. So now we are creating a new faculty of organic agriculture here in Egypt, but we already now training the faculty member, and it will last for perhaps another 2 years. on our fields here in our farms to let them experience the different. So we have started doing research on showing what is the difference between biodynamic, organic, and even conventional. And this research will show them how the advantage of doing biodynamic agriculture on sequestering CO2 and on so serving the climate. On the other hand, through research, we have a lot of programs in the society. So gender equality, as example. By doing gender equality program, we helping also alleviating poverty, because the young ladies and girls, when they are involved in many businesses, that they create more wealth and more understanding of life. And many other projects, but even the most important one is that all the students are having practice. Practice, that means they do internship in only such companies in the world who are caring for sustainable development. And that is where we're facing, of course, a problem, because there are not many. And my question to my friend now, they sang, how can we activate those member states, the minister, to encourage the sustainable development education? You have here an office in Cairo, UNESCO, and we ask you to let them come and visit us, to cooperate with us, just to educate all these beautiful member states, also our university in here, because they are living in another world. Sustainable development is not an issue for the ministers. And my next question out of what you said is the teaching methodology, and of course the campus, how we created the campus, a green campus. We have created a green campus, but the teaching methodology, that is one of still of our challenges, because all our faculty members, they came from many other universities around the world with no idea about sustainable development. So we need actually support in this regard. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Abouleish, for your insights also into how your university, which is definitely an international outstanding example of a university striving for sustainable development, works. And you have already also brought some insights into your understanding of quality education, or how actually a good quality of education should look like, by including and involving students actively into also research activities, and by having a very interdisciplinary understanding also of education. Now, with your questions, Professor Abouleish, and also my question to Dr. Leicht would be now actually how the goal 4 of the Sustainable Development Goals is on quality education, and how do you describe the interrelation between quality education and education for sustainable development?